You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. I am Daniel.
I am Clint. Welcome to Locked On Bulldogs here on Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by Rock Auto. Also brought to you by the chances for the National Championship of Florida. It's empty. Sorry, we don't have that sponsor.
No, we don't have that sponsor. We're unable to secure it.
Hey, thanks for making us your first listen of the day. We really appreciate it. First watch or listen, I should say, Daniel. Not only listen,
Sure,
but watch. Hey, if you're on the podcast app of your choice, glad you're listening. If you're on YouTube, hi, how you doing? Daniel and I are not gurus or insiders, and thankfully that is the case. We're fans first and foremost. We're going to talk like fans. And by the way, this just in, fans, y'all get ready. Y'all get that popcorn that Lane promised you should have on Saturday.
Turns out he wasn't talking about the Ole Miss Alabama game. That's not what you need the popcorn for. You need the popcorn for
He knew
this
that
week.
Locked On Auburn and Locked On Bulldogs going to have a little crossover episode tomorrow.
It's coming tomorrow, friends. Long anticipated return of Locked On Auburn. They're coming back.
By the way, we're going to revisit
the scene of the crime.
Worst fan bases in all of the SEC. We're going to revisit this offseason. Tennessee is no longer number 2.
No. Tennessee's been passed. Auburn fans, welcome to the show. So glad that you're here. I hope that you survive the next few minutes. It's going to be tough for you.
It is.
We're not going to be talking about you that much today, to be honest. We're going to talk about. You feel free to listen. I'm sure you'll agree with everything that we say. Clint and I are Georgia fans, so before you accuse us of being Georgia fans and think that you're insulting us, understand that that's who we are. That's what we're trying to be. That's what the podcast is, for fans, by fans. So if you're a fan, we're glad you're here. As Clint said, audio, YouTube. You can find us in any of those places. Subscribe to the channels and leave us a comment, leave us a rating and review if you like the show. All those things help us out. Thanks for doing all of that. LockedOnBulldogs@gmail.com is the email address. @DogsPodcast is the Twitter. Love to correspond. Does Twitter still exist? I heard social media died today.
No, I don't.
Twitter's still happening?
I'm not on it. I'm on it right now on Twitter.
Auburn fans, are they out there? Auburn fans on Twitter?
Auburn fans are still here, and they are chirping and barking and doing all the things.
You love to see it. Clint, we talked about the Arkansas game yesterday, talked about the offense, talked about Stetson Bennett's performance, the offensive line, the running game, all of that. But sort of buried the lead there because the offense wasn't the story of the game. Was it, Clint? No,
the offense did its job. Kudos to you.
Admirably.
Lunch pail,
Kudos.
Offensive line, you showed us a lot. But no, the real story is the unmatched, unparalleled, never seen before, and I mean never seen before, defense that
where have you
Georgia
seen
has
it
this year.
Someone explain to me where you've seen it. It's not existed before, so you've never seen it. What words are left to say about this defense? It's historic in literally almost every sense of the word. It's doing things we've never seen done before, including 2 straight SEC shutouts, one of which was against Vanderbilt, and one of which was against a top 10 team.
And really quick, before you say, it's Vanderbilt and Arkansas, did you do it?
Yeah.
Okay, did you do it then? No? Cool.
Florida fan, if you're here, shut out Vandy this week. And then
right up the brownstone window. Right up from the window of the basement.
That is right up the brownstone. It's one of those little high windows, in your basement unit window that you got to reach. You got to reach for sometimes. You got to reach way up there to shove it out the window. No, Georgia's defense it's unmatched. And so, Clint, I'm going to give you the floor. I'm going to allow you to take us wherever you would like to go to begin this conversation about the defense. Where would you like to start?
I'm going to start you with a question. It's not the type, it's not the players, it's not all the stats, it's the type of stats. It's the type of players we have. And what we have are incredible. I'm going to ask you a question. Can you guess the percent of tackles Adam Anderson and Nakobe Dean? So a tackle, I'm including when the ball carrier has the ball and they are taking them to the ground, okay? That's what I mean by tackle.
Sure. That's what most of us mean by tackle, but thank you for clarifying.
I want to Auburn categorize. Well, we got to be really careful what footballing is.
We do. Nuance.
What percent Adam Anderson and Nakobe Dean's tackles have been behind the line of scrimmage this year?
Oh, Lord. I mean, well, 40, let's say a ridiculous number. Clint.
Sure, go ahead.
I was going to guess somewhere in the 35% range.
48.3% of the times they tackle.
50%.
It's nearly half the time that they tackle a ball carrier. It is for a sack or a tackle for a loss behind the line of scrimmage. Now, is that good?
Is it? Well, they probably don't make very many tackles, Clint.
Oh, sure.
Is that what it is?
Nope, it's not. Nakobe Dean is on pace. If you include his sacks in with tackles, because they delineate those two, you put those in on there. He's right on par to get up to his 60, 70 tackles on the season, which he had 75 last year. Daniel, no, it's insane. This defensive front seven is historic, and we're going to get to maybe in the second segment what I want to ask, and we'll get to it certainly in the preview with Auburn. But it's no longer impactful. It's no longer havoc. It's demoralizing, Daniel.
Oh, yeah.
Is what this defense does to teams. It stops every single thing. When you have your game plan the entire week and the defense is able to know your game plan, take away your game plan, and then say what else you got, and you don't have option D or E because they took all the way up to that, you're screwed.
Listen, we thought, Clint, this is a mobile quarterback for Arkansas. I mean, this is a big kid, athletic kid. Yeah. And what do they do, Clint? We talked about this. We watched the Auburn tape. We've looked at what do they do, Clint? They run the quick game to the outside.
Yep.
And they throw deep shots, which do not take a long time to develop. They run hard play action, and they throw deep because Treylon Burks is very fast. And so it doesn't take a lot of time. That ball still gets out of KJ's hands quickly. We thought there might not be – because, listen, you can't just sack the quarterback 4, 5, 6 times every game, Clint. You can't do that.
Except maybe you can.
But what if you did do that?
Would your
defense be good?
Don't sleep on us getting no sacks because they were going to run the ball, get it out quick.
This is what I'm saying.
They got 4 or 5 sacks in this game.
4 more sacks in the game, Clint. This is it's now, like you said, it's not like we have shown that we can do it. It is that we have shown that no matter what you do, we're going to do it. So, Auburn fan, if you're listening, this is not me trying to troll you. This is just me saying, if you're going to think you have a chance to win this game, it's going to be in spite of the 4 or 5 sacks that Georgia's defense is going to record.
And if you, for a second, think that Bo Nix is more mobile and harder to bring down than KJ Jefferson on just one leg, you
injected
are
into my veins.
Look,
injected
sincerely.
Into my veins. That take. Let's please give me more of that. That's what I want to hear from Auburn fans.
Okay, this defense.
Okay, let's not.
Okay, we can't.
This defense is unbelievable. I want to talk about. You're talking about some linebackers. I want to talk about some defensive linemen, Clint, when we come back. When we come back from the break.
That's good. All right, College Football Fanatics. Have you heard about Prize Picks? Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy. I love this, and I know you will too. PrizePicks is a leader in college sports daily fantasy, offers more college football props than anyone in the world, and offers all the star players, all the star players, and outside mid-major players. You can offer any prop that you can think of, yardage to touchdowns, even interceptions thrown. That's significant for some this week.
Sacks recorded.
All you use is the deposit. Use promo code Locked On and receive 100% instant deposit match up to $100. That if you go to prizepicks.com right now, put $100 in, put promo code Locked On, get $100 right on top of that. It allows mixed sport entries as well. Use the award-winning app, or like I said, prizepicks.com. Entries can be made in 60 seconds or less. It's that easy. PrizePicks is safe, offers fast withdrawals. Don't hesitate. Check out prizepicks.com. Use promo code Locked On. Go to your app store or download the app today. PrizePicks is daily fantasy made easy.
Also want to tell you about rockauto.com. It is the place that you go on the internet for every part that your car will ever need, whether it is interior or exterior, whether it is cosmetic or mechanical. Rockauto.com has every part that your car will ever need. Why would you go to an auto parts store and shop for a minimal selection of some of the parts that your car might need from a guy who probably doesn't even have a mustache, when you could go to rockauto.com, the full mustache of auto parts retailers, and get every part that your car will ever need at a reliably low price, shipped straight to your door. You've got options so that you know you're getting the best part at the best price, and you're getting it straight from the warehouse to your home, avoiding the middleman and avoiding having to go out and speak to whatever sales associate is working at the auto parts store, or heaven forbid, the auto parts section of your local Walmart, where you may run into an Auburn fan when you're out there. That's not where you want to be. Okay. rockauto.com, where I guarantee you there are no Auburn fans. Go there right now and get the exact right part for your car. Put Locked On in the How'd You Hear About It section, and that's going to let them know that we sent you at rockauto.com. Okay.
Defensive lineman, Daniel.
Can we talk for a minute about Devonte Wyatt? Can we get serious about Devonte Wyatt for a second? Because
this man, Daniel, this
guy is everything. Listen, he's not going to get a Sports Center feature done about him. He's not going to be the guy that people are calling over after the game to interview the sideline reporters or whatever. He's not going to. That's just not who Devonte Wyatt is. He's not Jordan Davis. He's not going to get the press clippings. He's not Adam Anderson. He's not Nakobe Dean. He's not Nolan Smith. He's not a former #1 overall recruit. He's not one of the 1 billion 5-stars that every other team seems to be really upset that Georgia has on their roster. I'm not sure when it became, you're allowed to get those players to other teams.
How dare you speak that? How dare you?
It's not like we were just given those players and you weren't allowed to have them. They didn't pick you because they didn't want you. Okay. Devonte Wyatt's not any of those guys. You probably could have had Devonte Wyatt if you wanted him, but you didn't.
But he wanted to come to Georgia.
And we got him. And this guy has just gone under the radar into, I'm talking about this second round, Clint.
I'm telling you right now, into the second round, I would be happy if I had an NFL team taking him second round, no problem.
This is another 1.5 sack game for Devonte Wyatt. He had 6 tackles from the defensive tackle position. You understand what this is, Clint? These are the guys in the middle that are supposed to eat up the blocks. But what happens is that when KJ Jefferson or some other unnamed mobile quarterback who we don't even need to reference anyone in particular. But when someone thinks that there's a running lane available and they take off into that running lane. Now, not only is Channing Tindall immediately in pursuit, which when Channing Tindall's in pursuit, bad things are going to happen to you.
By the way, Channing Tindall is forced to live in a cage without food for a whole week. And then he's let out on Saturday and he says, if you tackle him, I'll give you food then. And he says, yep, I'm all here for it.
Just to be clear, we can neither confirm nor deny that is true. Clint's not reporting that.
Not reporting.
We're not breaking any news. We're not gurus or insiders. Not only is Latavius Brini coming downhill, Lewis Seen coming downhill with bad intentions. Not only are these linebackers running around with bad intentions, but I'm talking about, Clint, the defensive tackles that are currently engaged with your offensive linemen are going to get off those blocks, and they're going to make the tackle in the hole. That's what happened on Saturday. Not once, not twice, not 4 times, but 6 times Devonte Wyatt registered a tackle. 1.5 of them were for sacks, tackles in the backfield of the quarterback. He was a beast in the middle, Clint. And it sort of just completes the trifecta, if you will. Because last game, who was it that we were talking about just dislodging Vanderbilt offensive linemen and making tackles? Just absolutely owning people.
8-8 Jalen Carter saying, I own everything I see.
By the way, did you see when they put 99 and 88 on the field at the same time? I said, son, hop on your dad's shoulders. I want you to have a good view because something's about to happen here. And the man left his feet. Like, I'm not talking
seismic
about
activity was recorded.
Jalen Carter from the fullback spot hit a linebacker, and the linebacker's both feet came off the ground when contact was.
Little bunny foo-foo went hopping through this forest and ran into Jalen Carter.
Oh, good Lord. Okay, we talked about Jalen Carter last game. Who were we talking about the game before that, the Clemson game, the UAB game? We're talking about, of course, big number 99, big Jordan Davis. And now here we are in this Arkansas game. And who's the star of the defense, Clint? It's 95, Devonte Wyatt. These 3 gentlemen, it's like they're just playing musical chairs. And every game, somebody gets a turn.
So let me try to really quick hone offensive coordinator of another team. You look at the defense and immediately you go, okay, what do we do and how do we impose our way onto a defense? And the second question you ask, where's their weakness and how do we exploit it? Right? So these are your 2 game plan systems. How do we do something well? How do you exploit? You go to the how to exploit section. And again, we said this before the season, pick your choice. You take one person and you take him out for the game. This game is Jalen Carter. He didn't record a single tackle. One assisted, I think. Fine. Okay. Sure. Devonte Wyatt, Jordan Davis, Adam Anderson.
There's a picture floating around on the internet. There's a picture floating around on the internet. Jalen Carter, 3 offensive linemen engaging Jalen Carter. Well, guess what that means, Clint? Just this.
And here's what they know. They know it's just a rotation. And they know eventually in the system, they're going to come free. They're going to eat theirs. They're going to get their sacks. They're going to get their limelight. Nolan Smith's still there. Adam Anderson's still there. Nakobe Dean, by the way, no longer an inside linebacker. I haven't came up with a name for his position yet.
I think it's wrecking ball. I think that's what you call it. I think he is a missile. Weapon of mass destruction. Do they have those still? Is
whatever
that still
a Scud missile. If that's like land to sea air missile.
Scud missile. Boy, he said, let's skip the last 3 wars. Let me take you back to George H.W. Bush. Let me take you back. The year was 1992, kids. Sit down. Old Clint's going to tell you a story.
Okay, look, Street Fighter in that arcade of that Rayleigh's and we got after it. Okay.
Boy. He did a full backflip and he kicked you on the way around.
How did he do that?
Somehow the flat top was still perfect at the end of the day.
This defense is something else. I want to talk about the secondary just really quick when we come back from this break, and then we're going to do a big picture
I'll allow it.
feel. Okay, thank you. I appreciate allowing it. But before we get that, Daniel's going to let you know about BetOnline.
Well, BetOnline.ag is, of course, your online sportsbook experts. On Thursday, we're going to be giving out locks. We're going to be talking about the Georgia-Auburn game. We're going to be making official predictions. We're going to talk about all of the landscape of college football, all the bets that we are going to make this weekend. If you're following along, then you're making quite a bit of money. And the place that you can make that money is at betonline.ag. You go there right now, you enter the promo code Locked On, and you're going to get a 100% welcome bonus added on to your initial deposit, which means you deposit $100. They're going to give you a free $100 with which to bet on college sports. Maybe you want to bet on the MLB playoffs, go Braves. Maybe you want to bet on the NBA preseason, which means you should be locked away in some sort of a padded cell for your own protection. But the NBA is coming back. That's exciting. If you're a Hawks fan or you're some other NBA fan, that's great. Don't bet on the NFL. It is garbage, and you will never win any money betting on it. But college sports, Major League Baseball, NBA, whatever is your game, betonline.ag has it. Enter that promo code Locked On for 100% welcome bonus on your initial deposit. That lets them know that we sent you. It gives you free money at betonline.ag, your online sportsbook expert.
We'll let you know about SweatBlock. Daniel and I were down for the Clemson game, and we took our SweatBlock with us. And I'll tell you right now,
I had it this weekend at the Arkansas game, because let me just tell you, the cloud cover was overblown.
Minimal?
The reports of cloud cover were, I was told all day it was going to be cloudy, but if you were in that stadium being elite like I was, you know that it was not cloudy for the good portion of the day.
But SweatBlock had Daniel taken care of, had us taken care of down at Clemson. Because SweatBlock is doctor created, doctor recommended, works up for 7 days per use. It was on Rachel Ray with firefighters. They tested it out. It has a dry shirt guarantee where if you put this on and your shirt is not dry, you get your money back. It works up to 7 days on one treatment. It's bestseller on Amazon for the past 10 years with over 13,000 reviews. Currently number 1 in Amazon's antiperspirant category. It's manufactured right here in US of A. And you get to wear what you want when you want. Your little secret of confidence. This is a must-have for everyone's toiletry bag. Right now, you can go over to sweatblock.com, get 20% off with promo code Locked On. That's 20% off at sweatblock.com. Use promo code Locked On or Amazon and CVS. Daniel, here's where I want to go with the DBs really quick.
Well, why would a team not just come in when they're playing against Georgia? The DBs are the weakness, obviously, Clint. You said clearly what you want to do is exploit the weaknesses. And so why would they not just throw it deep every time?
Here's why. One, if you all haven't been watching Christopher Smith turn into on par with Lewis Seen as a safety in this secondary, okay? Then you haven't been watching this game. Christopher Smith is elite coverage safety right now in college football. He's elite. Yep. He is everywhere. He is closing in on windows. He is reading the quarterback's eyes with accuracy. The Keely Ringo and Katie, by the way, Katie, nice tackle. Next time, just please bring the arms. Like I know you came in on that little swing pass to the running back. You made your tackle, but could you bring the arms, buddy? Like, please, for me.
Listen, he got the man on the ground, Clint.
He did. I know he did.
From Darian Kendrick, that's all you're asking. That's all you're asking.
Okay, good. No, Christopher Smith,
leave it alone.
I'll leave it alone, is fantastic. Keely Ringo is learning how to do well in this, and here's why they are learning. And the speed and the game tape. Practice is good and practice is hard at Georgia, but when you're in a game and you don't have to be pressed into perfection right away because the front seven is just crushing an offense's soul, it gives you time to catch up. And now, here you go. Now we are at a point where if a team does pass well, the DBs are up to speed, and they've been able to do so. They've been doing so very well. I have confidence in this defensive back group to keep us in games if it's pressed upon them. I just every week I look at this defense and I don't think it could get better. And Daniel, it gets better.
It just gets it. I don't know if they get better. They just keep showing you how much better they are than even you thought they were.
Thank you.
They are the exact opposite of they are who we thought they were. Like this defense is, you think you know who they are. What was that dude's name? That coach?
Herm?
No, that wasn't Herm. That was Dennis. Who's that? Not Dennis Erickson.
No, Dennis Erickson was playoffs. Herm was who we thought they were.
No, it wasn't. Somebody else. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. This defense just shows every single week.
Dennis Green.
I knew it was Dennis. Thank you. Arizona Cardinals.
Yes.
Yeah, this defense is not who you thought they were. They're better than what you thought they were. I guarantee you. Georgia fan right now, this defense is better than what you think they are. Auburn fan right now, this defense is a lot better than what you think they are.
Please don't be stupid.
Just acknowledge when things are true. That's all right that we're really asking you to do. Speaking of acknowledging when things are true, Clint, let's talk about what we learned this weekend from college football. We got a couple minutes left on the show. Here's what I learned. The first thing that I learned that there are two kinds of coaches.
Okay.
Every coach loses. Okay.
Every coach.
Every coach loses, no matter who you are. The great Bill Belichick even loses games. Maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow on the podcast.
That's coming tomorrow.
Who knows if we'll get to subjects like that tomorrow? You can tune in and find out. Even the great Bill Belichick loses. But the great coaches, there are two types of coaches. I'm not even calling them great coaches and not great coaches. I'm going to call them real coaches and fake coaches.
Here we go.
Real coaches, when they lose, they acknowledge what they did wrong, say it's unacceptable that we did that wrong, say we're going to work to correct it with every moment that we have left, and say that is not the kind of product. We have to do better, and it starts with me. Now, fake coaches, Clint, I learned this weekend. I did not know this before this. Fake coaches will find a statistical category that suits them, and they will just decide to talk to you about that. Like, we gained more yards than the other team did, and so I don't know why you would even question me about anything. Fake coaches will jog across the field almost laughing when their team fails to score from the 5-yard line in
5-yard line.
8 chances. That's a lot of chances, Clint. That's what fake coaches will do. And then they'll dress up in Darth Vader costumes and they'll do all sorts of other things as well.
Attachment theory is a real thing. And I learned that Mrs. Mullen, you didn't tell your son enough when he was growing up that he did well, because he is searching for anybody.
He needs it. He needs it, doesn't he?
You did good. He needs it.
All he has to do is turn on ESPN, Clint, and he would hear it. He would
QB whisperer. He whispers to those QBs.
What else did you learn in college football this weekend?
This year is bananas. It's off the rails. There is no team. Iowa doesn't scare me. Penn State doesn't scare me.
Penn State scares some teams. Doesn't scare us. But Penn State would be plenty to scare some teams is all that we need to say.
What I learned, Daniel, is that Kentucky is still a team that I am nervous about that game. I said so from the onset.
You said it. You've been saying it.
I've been screaming it, saying, watch out. Kentucky can do some things, and they're doing some things now. I don't think I'm nervous because they actually have skill at it, and it seems like a trap game for us where the schedule lines up. That's why I'm nervous about it. Daniel, I also learned that you cannot change the stripes on a zebra at all. And Urban Meyer his way.
Oh, no. I really thought we were going to make it through this week's worth of podcast.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Do you understand that at The Ohio State University that they have awarded this man the position of something to the effect of Chancellor of Integrity?
Of Integrity.
Like he teaches classes about leadership.
Yes, sir.
At Ohio State.
Yes, sir.
That's the person we're talking about? We're still talking about the same Urban Meyer?
Same guy.
Okay.
Same guy. I learned that Michigan this might be the year they win their conference.
Uh-oh.
I'm just saying.
Listen, who in the world knows who's going to win the Big Ten? This Iowa-Penn State game this weekend, very excited to watch it.
Very.
I thought Maryland was going to give Iowa a game last week. No. They did not.
No.
But Michigan, obviously, you can't write off Ohio State, I don't think. And then you got Penn State and Iowa. It's a very interesting year for the Big Ten. Wisconsin is officially bad. I learned that no matter how much you want them to not, Oregon is always going to Oregon. And the Pac-12 is always going to Pac-12.
Fool me once.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 150,000 times, shame on me. Pac-12, you're dead to us. Yeah. And I learned Cincinnati's going to make the playoff.
Cincinnati, yep.
Period.
I told you. Cincinnati make the playoffs. And this is the last thing I learned. Missouri and Coach Drinkovitz.
Maybe, the Alpha Nerd?
The Alpha Nerd. Maybe we gave him too much credit too soon, Daniel.
Boy, what did they put up, a 60-piece on him?
60 burger. Tennessee put up a 60 burger on Missouri.
60-piece McNuggets on Missouri. That's a tough one. That's tough to swallow. Tough to get past.
Hey, listeners, come back tomorrow. We got special guests. Locked On Auburn is joining us. An Auburn fan already up on our Twitter feed, already mouthing off. 37-16 is a bunch of
Let's do this.
This might be the first time in the history of the podcast that we got to put an explicit tag on this dang thing. I'm just
a lot. Tune in tomorrow. The much anticipated return of Locked On Auburn. You can't write this stuff any better than it's playing out this year. All right, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day, and go Dogs.
Go Dogs.